get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show.
Thank you for joining me again, Matthew. And I know it's been, what, 5 months since we last spoke, which is really crazy. I don't know where this year is going, but here we are, October. It's Black History Month, and in the UK.
Yes.
And I have said this to a couple of people already, that I know I'm reaching back out to you because you're Black. I'm really sorry. That's my apology out of the way.
Okay.
and that's the bit that actually struck me, was that, are we doing that? Is there too much tokenism going on? Am I guilty of that now as well by bringing it to the fore? I hope not, because that's not my intention, but it kind of is my intention. I'm almost doing it for that reason, that what are we doing for the other 11 months of the year, and what does it mean to you? And obviously, having been to school in the UK, and you would have experienced it at school, and I don't know how much you've experienced it since then, so it'd be interesting to know. What are your thoughts? What's your feeling? What is it, a good thing? Is it not? Is there tokenism? Over to you.
Hi. I would say no, it's definitely a good thing. We do definitely need it. I feel like there is still gaps in the education system about Black history, because, and it's definitely there, because and I feel like Black History Month, each year you're getting a little bit of information. It's like you're getting like a new chapter of the book, where it's something that you learned last year from last year's Black History Month, and then you get another page of that this year and this year's Black History Month, and it's frustrating that there isn't really more details about history, because all that we have is really, let's say, we get some good, but then it's mostly like the negative side of the history. And like something from like your video, a video that you posted 2 days ago, in America, it's like a real positive like month,
A real celebration.
And it's just like you get information, you have like leaders, you get the history, you have all sorts. But then here we don't really have those big, massive, outlandish figures to talk about.
No, we just don't. And I think the thing that's hit me more this year, and I know it's hit me more this year because of my podcast, and because I'm looking at different areas of discrimination with a different kind of view now, and just researching a bit more than I have done previously. I'm genuinely interested in why we haven't assimilated more, in that sense that the history hasn't assimilated, that it just, it's still, here's a bit of Black history and here's British history, but guess what? it's the same. You're talking about the same period of time. It's not even a separate timeline, and I kind of struggle with that. Why isn't it? Why do people? In fact, I wonder how many people know that the lawnmowers they have in their sheds were invented by a Black man. And then when you look at elements of history, and I see some things that are taken away from the Black community, or, the credits given elsewhere to suit, and almost to kind of undermine achievements instead of celebrating them. And then there's another element. There's another element of why do we need to acknowledge the color? And it's because of the discrimination that actually we do.
Yes.
The whole argument, well, why do we need a Black? So I heard somebody say, why do we need Black History Month? When's White History Month? And I honestly was taken aback by that, because guess what? It's White History Month every single day of the year, or every single month of the year. Sorry, it just
It's
It's like, and it's not about where you're living, because actually you can go to other parts of the world, you can go to predominantly Black countries and see that their curriculum isn't all about the Black community either.
no, it's a balance. It is a
So
balance. And there's the balance what let's say people struggle with. And I feel like the reason why we might not hear that much or might not understand about certain successes is the guilt what comes with it. Like that guilt of, yeah, like I feel like America have the guilt, they live in that guilt, and they try and get past it, but they always get pulled back. Yeah, so they have to have the guilt and the good and the bad. They have to have the guilt and the celebration. Here, like we kind of, I would say, skirt around it and try to keep it in the background as much as possible, but the voices and the education and the information is getting louder and too hard to kind of keep under wraps. We have the internet, we have people that educate themselves so much in history of what the good things that have happened. It's coming to the forefront, and people are just saying like, yeah, why aren't we knowing more about this? I want to know more about this. And luckily, yeah, we have people that are open, but then we also have people that are very closed.
and I think, history would have, and our education system has an opportunity to bridge those gaps. I feel so strongly about that now, the more I've read about it, that actually if it was more naturally integrated in our history, it wouldn't be a separate thing.
No.
It's by design. It's actually created this segregation by
Yes.
design,
Yeah.
because it has been omitted. It's then got its own little world that, well, that's Black history. And so and even when I switch on, and I know like the BBC, Channel 4, they're all really good at putting on shows, and it's great. It's just a shame that there's been this missed opportunity for years and years and years. And I wonder what it will take to actually, and I also don't want to be a blend, right? I'm not talking about mixing pot. I do want to be recognized as my own, I'm not Black, obviously, but in terms of my cultural heritage,
Yeah.
I want it to be. So I'm not suggesting that we become this melting pot that blends, because that isn't, I don't think that's conducive either. It's about recognizing that in our pot there are different ingredients, or different things that make us a complete community, and to celebrate that, and that enrichment. To me, when I look at workplaces, I look at our industry, do you know how much I struggle to even think of people to contact to speak about Black History Month? And I don't believe they're not necessarily there, but we're very underrepresented in the AV community in terms of color. We're not very colorful as an industry, and I know that's been talked about, and it's being addressed. But I think what people aren't realizing enough is that to know where you're going, you've got to know where you've come from, and you've got to know your history, and you've got to understand that to know what makes you. And if I don't understand that, I can't actually then bring my best self to work and my authentic self to work, and actually look up at people who've had similar experience. Knowing that you can see somebody who's had that shared experience as you've had is going to make it easier. And that's where I think role models and seeing people who look like you is really important.
It is. And just in the positions of influence and being influential, just in terms of actually just leading and just being there, really. Like you don't know, like that feeling, like you see the videos of the Little Mermaid reaction. Like
I know.
that's a child
Yeah.
reacting that way, reacting with such joy.
Yep. Yeah.
It means so much.
Yeah. And it could be so easy to put into place. It could,
Yes.
it's not difficult. It has to come with the will to be that little bit more open. And I know we were speaking about it before, the whole kind of I don't care what color you are, or I don't care what your history is. It might come from a place of good intent, you know, that comment, but it's actually really quite hurtful. I think, the more I reflect on it, I've heard it so many times in different forms, different contexts, and I'm like, yeah, I get that. I get that what you mean is that you're not going to treat me differently, and that's really nice of you. But actually, it would be much nicer if you said, yeah, I see your color and I accept your color. Tell me about your history. Where are your family from, or what is this experience for you?
Yes.
And it would make it easier for people to share their stories.
Yeah.
Instead of being embarrassed by them.
Yeah, no, yeah, that sharing, like, you kind of hit the nail on the head, like that sharing piece of just what it is for you to be you when you're not at work. And for instance, and it's something that we've spoke about on the previous chat in May, about how being a reflection of the world, as well as actually being a reflection in the mirror of the world, corporations, it's also about, yeah, being a reflection of your home, because you're at work for 8 hours a day. You're at work more, you spend more time at work than you do at home.
Yeah.
How can you be, well, you can, and it's not conducive to be someone else for 8 hours a day. So if you are to be able to be yourself, you'll perform so much better.
I don't ever slow up, no, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.